Welcome to Retrologic. I'm Dan Caparello, and with me today is the man, the myth, the legend, John Cummins. He is my friend, and I'm so glad that he does this podcast with me every week. I'm just throwing a little bit of extra love your way today, John. I don't know if you were expecting that or not, but there it is.
I'll take it.
Awesome. Oh man, it's been a week, you guys. Whew, I am ready to do the podcast. I am ready. Retrologic isn't just a podcast, though. It's also a retro game store. Visit Retrologic.games to check out our growing inventory of clean, tested, and 100% authentic retro games. Whew. So, John, what did you buy this week? You've got quite the list here, per usual.
Yeah.
You've been on a spree lately.
Oh, yeah.
A buying spree.
I can't help but to hunt down some of the cheaper PSP games that I missed out on while they're still cheap. And
yeah, for real.
So I picked up God of War, Chains of Olympus. Picked up Final Fantasy Tactics for the PSP. Wipeout Pure.
Nice.
That came with like a... I bought that, and...
Final Fantasy Tactics for the PSP. That's the War of the Lions.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I got like a little bundle of games that had like I think I mentioned last week it was Luminous and a few other. That's right. A few other ones. Yeah. This one was in there and I missed it, so I figured I'd mention it this week. It's actually pretty fun. I played a little bit of it, just putting the games in, checking to make sure they work. And so I hadn't played Wipeout in forever. I think the only one I really played a whole lot was probably the worst one, which was the one on 64. And
yeah, no.
So I was like,
all that fog.
Oh yes, very much. So yeah, that was a pretty good one. And then my Genesis collection for the PSP came in just in time to play some Sonic.
Yes, for our Retro Rewind. Yeah, I hope everybody's enjoying that. And I say that unironically because I like that game. Some people are not having a great time.
Oh, yes. No, yeah, I heard definitely some chatter on Discord about how Sonic is good, but they're not having as much fun as they remembered having.
Yeah, man. It doesn't... we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll
will
get there
talk
when we get there.
Yeah.
So I also got Monkey Ball 2 from you as part of a trade to get you a Dreamcast over to your place. And Star Wars.
I don't know if you tuned into that stream when I tested everything. I'll talk about it on the show. That was pretty fun.
I actually missed it, and then I went back to try to find it later, and it hadn't uploaded yet. So I'll go back and check it out. But
I'm not going to upload it to YouTube, but it'll be on Twitch for a little while. You can check it out there.
I looked in, I didn't see it right away. I'll go back and check again. But so anyway, from you, I got Monkey Ball 2 for GameCube, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the Dreamcast, and also a random copy of Ninja Gaiden Sigma in a Ninja Gaiden 3 case, which I promptly fixed and got the correct artwork for Sigma. Yeah,
good. Did you were able to test all that out?
I haven't tested them out yet. I mean
everything looked really good, but I hadn't got a chance to test it yet, so I want to make sure.
I'll throw Star Wars in this week when I get time. I'm sure Monkey Ball's fine. Actually, I can throw it in my Wii later, but the only one that my PS3 is with my son in his room, so I have a harder time getting hold of it. So to try out Ninja Gaiden, but I'm not as worried about that one.
No, I think I actually already tested all the PS3 games, so you should be good there.
Awesome.
Awesome. And you played some pretty interesting ones this week too, John.
So I can use this time to give a little quick update on the arcade cabinet, the old Retrologic arcade.
Yes, the Retrologic arcade. Let's do it.
So I posted some pictures on Discord, and I got my control panel replacement board in, which is just the wood with the holes in it. Since my arcade cabinet was originally an Asteroids cabinet, The only thing it had on the control panel was 4 buttons and a dial, which is no bueno if you want to play anything that isn't Asteroids and a few other games. So I ordered a panel that was a Japanese 2-player button setup. So I've got the 8 buttons, 2 control sticks, 8 buttons for each player, 2 control sticks, and a coin and a start button. And I've got
amazing.
Yeah, I got everything. I had the buttons already, and I got everything installed in the board, I think on Friday. And one of my buttons didn't light up. So I had to ask for a replacement button. The button's still inputs.
Bummer,
I was able
man.
to I was able to fire up the cabinet and start configuring controls, which is a nightmare for these little USB controllers because they're just marked 1 through 12. And you have to go in and
figure out what each one is. And
so basically you go into a game that like I had my brother-in-law helping me a little bit. He's a big Street Fighter guy, so we'd like hop into a Street Fighter game and he knows like low kick, medium kick, high kick. So we just sat there and press the buttons, see which one was which, and then go into the mapping in the emulator and reorganize the controller config to match what he was seeing. So I had like in a notebook, circle buttons and then lines going everywhere, mapping it all out. And then, after probably 3 hours over the weekend, we got most of it. Dreamcast was one that we didn't get done, and I think like PlayStation, but so far everything is working fantastic. I should get my new button in the mail, and as soon as that comes in and I get it replaced, I'll probably be putting in my order for the vinyl and shooting you over a template to start designing with, and we'll get this thing up
I can't wait, man.
But yeah,
it's going to be so cool.
It's super
I almost
close.
want to fly out and take some like professional photos and get like a really cool like promo video of it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
maybe I'll get a cheap flight out to Missouri or Montana or Michigan or wherever you are.
As long as it's not Minnesota.
I forget where you. No, wouldn't go there.
No, you're not the. I've drove down to where you're at plenty of times, so it's about an 8-hour drive. It's not too terrible.
No, it's not. Midwest is small.
Yeah. So
not too bad.
The whole reason why for the update of the cabinet is I sat and played some games because we were sitting here tuning this thing. So I played some Marvel vs. Capcom and Rocket Knight and just some random games from each system that I knew the button configurations for so that I could figure out the controls. Things I hadn't played. And then I don't run an N64 emulator on my cabinet, but I thought it'd be handy to have one because I had games, and I have one on my phone, and I've been trying to figure out how to set up all the buttons for doing my SN30 Pro Plus, mouthful of names for a controller. And while I was doing that, I played probably like 2 hours of Rocket Robot on Wheels, which I still love that game. I haven't played it in a long time, but it's pretty fun for a N64 platformer. Just all the it's a Ubisoft game like published, and I can't remember who developed it, but man, it feels like it could have been a rare game.
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, it was Sucker Punch.
It was developed by Sucker Punch, so it is a very high quality game. It's very well made.
Yeah, it feels like it could have been a rare game. Like it has that same feel. Like it feels like a Banjo-Kazooie, or it's out there like Conkers. But you can like drive cars, and you collect all these pieces. And the very first thing I did was like go collect the little screws and put together the roller coaster, and like it's just a really cool game for like the N64 that a lot of people that I talk to have never even played. I'm like, man, you guys missed out.
It is super good. I love this game. It's now I'm just sort of a sucker for N64 era 3D platformers in general. Any of them, even the bad ones, just except Glover. Glover can burn in hell.
Donkey
but
Kong
every
64.
other one, Yes, even Donkey Kong. See, I'm just a sucker for them. I love them. And Rocket Robot on Wheels is so special. So special. Yeah, go find yourself a copy. Yep. It's a red cartridge and it's beautiful.
I will definitely be picking up my own copy for sure soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to pick my own up. I need to get that game. But yeah, Sucker Punch, what's one of their first games, and they went, as they went on to do Sly Cooper and Infamous, which I love. Infamous, I love that game, and most recently, Knights of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghosts of Tsushima. Yeah, that's Sucker Punch.
Which
they make good stuff.
If you haven't noticed, like every one of the games you mentioned after Robot is a PlayStation game. So I wonder if like the N64 left a bad taste in their mouth.
I mean, kind of left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. I'm not gonna lie, including one John Blanco.
Yeah, for sure. Oh man. So anyway, what all did you pick up this week?
So I didn't buy a ton this week. I did have a funny encounter at Savers again. I try to hit it every day, just go in at least once and just look around and see what's there. And I went in and I got a bag. Savers is so funny, dude. They just throw the most random crap together. It was a Ziploc bag, and they put random stuff in a bag and they'll label it as if it's all the same and price it, and then you have to buy the whole bag for $3. In this bag was a clear blue first party Dreamcast VMU, a white Dreamcast VMU, and a reusable like snack bag for kids. So I bought it, threw the snack bag away, kept the VMUs, and I was able to fire them up with the Dreamcast, and they're the same. It's the same games that were in the lot that I purchased from the same Savers. So they're like slowly getting through this lot of video games. And I keep going back looking for like a console or like some accessories or something, or some more games, anything
pop up
Dreamcast wise. Yeah, maybe. Or somebody already picked it up. I'm hoping for the best there, but that was hilarious. I was laughing at myself for that because I thought that was so funny. Also got a really, really trashy third party controller that was super cheap, so I just picked it up anyway. And cover art. John, you blessed me with cover art as part of our trade for the Dreamcast for a ton of games that I had missing cover art for. And it was just sitting on my, I look at my shelf of games and they were just kind of like eyesores in like a nice, beautiful row of GameCube games. There were a couple like white labels that just didn't look right because I had to handwrite the labels. And now it's beautiful. Beautiful. And I cannot thank you enough for doing that for me.
That makes a big difference.
What's the website where you print those off from?
It's called the Cover Project. And
that's right.
It's basically just a community of people that upload their cover art from their games. You don't have to, you don't purchase. It's just open download. If I notice something that's missing, I try to upload if I have. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's a community of people that are trying to preserve game cases in a way, it's pretty neat.
Cool. I might have to get on there and see if I have anything weird that hasn't been uploaded yet. I have a couple weird games.
Yeah. I mean, I find stuff all the time that's not even like weird random games. They're just, since it is a community and like sometimes it's just people get
just
certain games get missed. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been doing that with price charting. Price charting is basically like a giant wiki. And sometimes cover art's missing or back of the box pictures are missing or info is missing. And if I'm looking for a game where I'm seeing what something's worth and it's missing something, I try to fill it in if I have the info. I love doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, every little bit helps.
So thank you for that. The other thing that I started doing, because I didn't really pick anything new up. Oh, I did pick one more thing up. So this is hilarious, John. Let me show you this. Okay, so So, do you know anything about this GameCube game? This game is called Amazing Island.
Doesn't look so amazing.
Have you heard?
I have not.
Okay. It was published by Sega. What it is essentially it's like a 3D character model creator, and then like so you can design any character you want, and then you like go on little adventures with your character you made. And my brother and I used to play this game nonstop and just laugh our butts off at the ridiculous characters we could make with this editor. And it was $5 on Mercari, and it's a really nasty looking copy. I mean, it's got writing all over the disc. It's like, I mean, the disc looks fine. It probably plays just fine. But I got this copy because it's in a Hollywood video case.
Oh man. Shoot, the case is probably
and
worth
they're
more
not
than
around
the game now.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not around anymore. And I worked at Game Crazy. Which was the video game store attached to Hollywood Video. I worked there for years when I first moved to Austin. And everybody knows the story. They Hollywood Video went under, and with them went Game Crazy. And if you talk to most people who experienced a Game Crazy, they'll tell you like it was great.
Yeah,
it was way better than GameStop or EB Games. They were buying retro games back in the day when GameStop and EB Games weren't doing it anymore. Like they had like the whole membership thing, just like GameStop, but you could get Nintendo Power instead of just EGM. You know what I mean?
Yeah, which is way better.
So, yeah, which is way better. So, I have such an incredible soft spot in my heart for Hollywood Video and Game Crazy. So this is just like a little piece of history that I wanted to buy. Just to have. I'm not going to replace the cover art. I'm going to totally keep this in this box.
Yeah, it's pretty. At least they went the extra effort at Game Crazy to put like the actual cover art on the.
Yeah, because the whole front of the box is cover art, and then the spine looks different, but then the back is like a little mini manual, so that's cool. They had a little write up about it.
GameStop
so
never does that.
I don't know. No, that's just a silly thing that I got because I'm weird like that. I showed my brother and he like freaked out. He was like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta pop that in and make some weird characters." So the last thing is that I am officially on the hunt for a copy of Gotcha Force. I don't want to spend $350 on it. I'm trying to find a pretty good price. And I'm going to start throwing a little bit of money away to save up to get like some money to like actually be able to buy it once a good listing pops up. I've seen a couple pop up here and there every once in a while around the 250 to 300 range. And that's really my price range. And it has to happen. I have to own this game. I have to do it. I'm not going to sit here with a giant video game collection and not own Gotcha Force. That's just stupid in my mind. It is one of my favorite games on the GameCube, and it is a crying shame that it is so expensive and it is unplayable anywhere else in the world. So, John, that is what's been going on with me as far as purchases and stuff like that. As far as what I've played, I did a stream this week of testing out this whole lot of GameCube games. And I'm happy to say that almost every game works.
Dreamcast games?
Yeah, the Dreamcast games.
Okay.
There are two that don't work, and they are... Hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. So, Rayman 2, unfortunately, doesn't work, because apparently that's like the best version of that game. And Star Wars Demolition doesn't work. It starts up, but then like once you actually try to get into a battle, it doesn't work, which is a huge bummer. I love me some Star Wars Demolition.
Is it
and
due
it just
to
sucks
the
that I won't be able to play it.
Input cable that you have?
No. So that was something else I was going to bring up. So there are two games that I couldn't test because the HDMI cable I got uses the VGA out on the Dreamcast, and Hydro Thunder and Evolution are not VGA compatible. So I just got a message on my screen that said, this AV cable is not compatible with this game. Change your AV cable. So I'm going to have to track down. an AV cable at some point. Actually, I think. Didn't I pick up an RC? Like, I think my local retro shop had a Dreamcast RCA cable for like $1. Like, they were basically giving it away.
I have both. I have the HDMI one that Hyperkin makes, and then I have the original RCA.
Well, the not RCA, coax.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, coax cable, which is like, it's going to look terrible on my TV, but you know, just to test the games out, I should do that. Where did I put that? I'll have to figure it out.
I'm surprised you could even get one for Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's kind of like,
it's like right on the edge.
I don't know. People still had CRTs in 2000, so so that's how that went. I mean, Power Stone 2 fired up. Power Stone fired up. Ah, man, it was so fun on that stream. It was such a good time. Actually, next Monday, my brother and I are going to do some 2-player streams. We're going to stream him and I playing couch co-op with probably play some Power Stone and stuff like that. Just some 2-player stuff that you can't really do retro otherwise. And that's going to be super fun. So I'm looking forward to doing that next Monday on our Twitch channel. I also played Borderlands the Pre-Sequel. I started that, and I'm not going to talk about it very much because it's not retro. Well, it's kind of retro, but that's a thing. It's on Vita. Sorry, not PSP.
Yep.
Too new.
Yeah. And I want a Vita. I'll have to find one.
Yeah.
It's next.
That's next. All right. Well, with all that out of the way, John, let's jump into some Price is Retro. So if this is your first time listening, I'll quickly give you a rundown of what the Price is Retro is. This is our little game that we like to play. I'm going to list off a lot of games. A lot being like a couple of games, like 3 or 4 games. And you have to guess how much that list of games is worth in total. And then John's going to do his list and I'll guess it. And then we're going to see who gets the closest. And this week we have another guest, another community contribution to the list, to the thing, blah blah blah, and that is Hambone Johnny sent us a nice little listy to guess. So, John, why don't you go first this time?
All right. So I have a list of 4 games here that have a little bit of a theme. I've been hopping on.
We got to do the themes.
Hopping on the theme bandwagon that some guests have got us started on.
I love it. I do it every time now.
I think it makes things easier than just kind of like picking and choosing here and there. But so my first game on this list is Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color Complete.
Complete? God, jeez.
The second game on this list is Metroid Prime Pinball for the DS Complete.
Why are you DS Complete. Okay.
The third game is Mario Pinball Land for the Game Boy Advanced Complete.
I see your theme. That's great.
Yeah, and the fourth game
Mario
is
Pinball
Galactic.
Land. What's that for? What's the console again? Mario Pinball Land for what?
Game Boy Advance Complete.
Okay. Oh, complete. Dang you and your complete boxed games. Come on now.
And then the fourth game is Galactic Pinball for the Virtual Boy Complete.
You're screwing me up with these complete ones. Okay. So let me do some math real quick. 60, 10. Okay, just give me a $200 straight. That's my guess.
Alrighty. throw you in for $200. And the total of my lot is $163. So not too bad.
Not too bad. The complete in box stuff threw me off a lot because that's not usually what I look for when I'm like finding cartridges and stuff. So,
yep.
Yeesh.
Alrighty, you can go next, and then we'll do the guest list.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so mine also has a theme. So the first game is Worms for the Atari Jaguar, complete in box. Oh, wait. Is this complete in box, Pris? Hold on. Let me check real quick. I want to make sure I'm doing it right. Yes, that's a complete in box, Pris.
Okay.
Okay. The next game is Worms Armageddon for the N64, cartridge only.
Okay.
The next game is Worms Open Warfare for the Nintendo DS, complete in box.
All right.
And the last one is Worms World Party for the N-Gage, complete in box.
Oh gosh, the N-Gage, stinking Nokia. Man, I bet those games aren't worth anything. I'm gonna say $130.
All right. Let me do some quick math because I was a dum-dum and did not finish my job earlier by counting up what it's all worth together. But I'm doing it now as I talk because that is how you fool people into thinking that you didn't do that. The total for this lot is $324.
I had a feeling that it was going to be the opposite of what I thought, but I just thought...
Well, I think you'll be surprised at one of these games.
It's the Jaguar game.
Because I was. It's not.
That must be the N-Gage.
It's also not.
Man.
I think
right,
that N64 game, that N64 game has gone up.
That's crazy. All right, let's do
inexplicably.
Let's do this bonus list.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk some prices.
So Hambone Johnny from our Discord community, super active in the community. Love this dude. Hey, if you want to join our Discord, which is just full of lovely people, I mean, 100% non-toxic, the link to get in there is in my Twitter bio, at Retrologic.games on Twitter. So go do that. Okay. His theme is, these aren't Easter eggs, just a bunch of secrets.
Oh.
So, the first game is Secret of Mana for the SNES, loose cartridge. Let's see here. The next game is Secret of Evermore for the SNES, complete in box. Dang it, they're mixing it up with the complete in box stuff. Shoot. Because I know Secret of Evermore isn't as much as Secret of Mana, but I don't know about complete in box. Number 3 is Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Wii, complete in box. The next one is Secret of Monkey Island for the Sega CD, complete in box. Dang, that one's probably... Yeah. Shoot. I don't even know for sure, but I just have a feeling about that one. And number 5 is Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the GameCube, complete in box. So...
You got something in your head?
Let's add them up real quick. Yeah, I'm adding up my totals here. I gotta write them out because I'm messed up. Okay, my guess is $325.
I was gonna go 400, so we're close.
All right. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, his total is $237. Woof. All right, and I'll do his totals first. So we've got Secret of Mana loose is $40. Secret of Evermore complete is $77.
Okay.
Sonic and the Secret Rings is $7. Monkey Island for the Sega CD is $100. So Harry Potter for the GameCube is $13.
And those Sega CD games make me like I don't even know where to start. Like some complete ones are $300, some of them are $50.
Yeah, but something like Monkey Island is that's a well-known IP and a pretty well-loved game, so I assumed that it was pretty pricey. Plus, like, why would you buy that on Sega CD ever? So it's got to be hard to find.
Yeah, but that was my reasoning. We talked about this the other day. A copy of Daytona 500 for the Saturn is $125. You never know. That's loose.
Yes. That's
So anytime you know how to defeat me, just throw a Sega Saturn or CD game in there that I have no clue. And
well, you know what? You got to know your weaknesses and do your own research there, John. Okay.
I know. I'm just gonna start studying.
All right. Well, thank
list.
you. Yeah, for real. Thank you, Johnny, for dumping that on us. That was super fun. I appreciate it. John, go ahead and give us your individual game totals, and then we'll do the winner.
All right. So, Pokemon Pinball for the Game Boy Color complete is $62.
Okay, I was pretty close on that
Metroid
one.
Prime Pinball for the DS is $27 complete.
Okay,
and Mario Pinball Land for the Game Boy Advance complete is $30. And Galactic Pinball for the Virtual Boy complete is $44.
Man, I was kind of up and down on that one, but
it's one of the lower.
I got pretty close.
It was one of the lower value games for the Virtual Boy.
A complete in box? I thought. I mean, surely, I had like $75 listed for that one. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know much about Virtual Boy. I got to get in on my Virtual Boy. I'll do Virtual Boy, and you do Sega Saturn, Sega CD.
Yeah.
That's what we'll do. Okay. So my totals, are you ready? Worms for the Jaguar, complete in box, is $109.
Okay.
Worms Armageddon for the N64, cartridge only, is $188.
Man. That's
blew
ridiculous.
Me away. Yeah. I want to look at the chart on that one because I don't know when that happened. I think I had that game like not too long ago. No, I mean... It's been pretty high. It's been $100 plus since 2016, or past that too. Like it just, crazy. Complete in box copy is over $600.
Good gosh,
insane. Yeah. And then I'm gonna go back to my list. Worms Open Warfare, complete in box, $7.
Yeah.
And
that's more like
I had to throw in a couple curveballs. Yeah. Worms World Party for the N-Gage is $20, complete in box.
See, I was kind of...
There are not a lot of expensive N-Gage games.
Well, in the one in 64 game, I was thinking like $40 on that. So definitely killed me by doing 188 on that.
I didn't even know it was that high. It's crazy. Crazy. All right, give us the damages here, John. Who won?
So today, your total difference was $125, and my total difference was $357. So clearly, you are the winner today.
Hey! All right, we're flip-flopping. You won last week.
Back and forth.
Nice. Good game. Thank you again, Hambone Johnny, for jumping in with that. If you want to submit your own list of games for us to guess, you can DM me on Twitter or hit me up on Discord, and I will give you instructions on how to deliver that, because it has to be blind, so you have to be able to deliver it, but I have to be able to not see it. So there's a way to do that, and I will tell you what that is. So the next thing we're going to do is just chat about our weekly topics. And our first weekly topic on the docket is how Crossplay is going, John.
Crossplay.
I am playing Castlevania. You challenged me to play Castlevania, and I challenged you to play Pokemon Snap. Well, you certainly did get your revenge this week, John. I'll go first. I played a little bit of it on stream, and I beat 2 bosses. I got through the big bat thing and Medusa.
So did you eat some wall chicken?
I did eat wall chicken.
Okay.
There's a lot of really dumb stuff in this game.
So
just super dumb.
How do you like not be able to jump off of stairs?
I'm going in. Oh my gosh. No, that only happened to me one time. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think we're talking about the same thing. Okay, let me start here. So here's the thing about Castlevania. Never having played, I don't think I've ever fired up a Castlevania game in my life.
It's criminal.
Why, John, are the hearts ammunition? Why are the hearts in this game?
Because, man, it's Konami. They have to do the exact opposite of everyone else, you know.
That's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. I thought I was getting health. Forever. I was like, man, I have so much health. I looked at my bar and it's almost empty. I'm like, wait, what? What is happening?
Yeah.
What are these hearts doing? Nope. It's terrible game design. Also, like, how do you get extra lives is money.
Yep.
You collect money bags. You don't buy anything with the money. You just get a high enough score to get an extra life.
It's just like Mario. Coins.
You know what? You got me there. I guess that makes a little bit of sense. There's so much frustrating stuff about this game.
Yeah, I mean, I had to start you at the beginning for you to be able to play the later ones. We had to go.
I guess
start at the beginning, man. You gotta learn the frustrations. You have to earn your way to the advancements of Castlevania.
All right. Okay, I guess it's really, like, you're right. Jumping in that game is a joke. It's an absolute joke, man. Like, why? Okay, so I'm on this high platform, and there's a stairway that goes down. So I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna walk forward onto this stairway. Nope, fall right down into the pit. I died immediately. Fell straight down.
There's lots of areas in Castlevania where you can't see what you're getting into.
No.
So there's a lot
and
of
like some of the enemies move so freaking fast and are too like low to even hit. So like there's that cat that runs at you. There's the Medusa heads, which I am now gonna have like nightmares about because they're flying all over the place and you can't do anything about it. Oh my gosh. I will say though, the like cross boomerang thing that you throw, that is by far the best thing in the entire game.
Oh yeah.
Easily the best thing in the whole game. That thing's the best. I got stuck with holy water, and I was like, what does this even do? It's not killing anything. What do you do with this? And somebody in the chat told me, like, oh no, use that on Medusa.
Oh yeah, that's for bosses.
And I killed her in like 2 hits with that thing. Just like let it burn, and it got her. Oh man, that was a lifesaver. So there's no rewind on the Castlevania collection for Switch, which is it makes me so mad. So I'm basically just like trying to get a really good run through each room, and then I'll save at the end of that room.
Yep.
do a save state, and that's the only way I'm getting through this game. It's ridiculous.
It's definitely difficult. It's there's lots of Castlevania to be had, and this is where it all started. But there's definitely so much more improvements on the later games. You'll enjoy. By the time you get to like PlayStation era with Symphony of the Night and the Game Boy Advanced era, there's so many good Castlevania games. But you definitely need to start with the bread and butter and I mean, the thing that I love about Castlevania, and I think I mentioned it earlier, it just still amazes me that is an NES game. Like, you can definitely tell its roots are like arcade style, like it's what they're going for, and the game is just beautiful, and like they use every color like the NES had available to it.
It is very pretty, and the music is banging.
Yeah,
what a soundtrack!
They paint a good picture, man. Especially like they do the the landscape shots of like the castle from the outside, and like the whole, like, it's like, man, this looks like it could have been a Super Nintendo game almost.
And as much as I complain about the gameplay, it does, once you kind of understand the language of the game, it is fun. And it is great when you pull off like a really good move, like you react well enough to really get an enemy or whatever. That feels really good. Those moments kind of happen few and far between, unfortunately, but it is, there is an enjoyment to it. I'm not totally crapping on this game. Like, it's a classic and it's the beginning of a series and there's a lot going on that's really not great. But I do it does deserve the merit that it gets, I think, especially back in the NES days. It seemed to be pretty revolutionary. It was just really hard. Here's what was hard about it. I went from beating Super Metroid to starting Castlevania on the NES.
Yeah, speed, you're so
like you
slow.
couldn't get any more different. Like, it was so ridiculous. Ugh.
Yeah,
even in chat they were like, yeah, going from Super Nintendo to this is kind of rough. Yeah, it was. It was rough, but
preparing you for better ones later. So
yeah, well, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna try to beat it. I might get too frustrated and just give up outright and go back to Sonic the Hedgehog. But we'll see.
Oh man, I'd almost at this point where I'm at in Sonic, I think I'd rather play Castlevania.
I know. We chose a bunch of really hard games to get through, unfortunately. But you've got Pokemon Snap, which is not a hard game to get through.
No. If you're a
so
perfectionist...
tell me about... Yeah, sure. Tell me about your experience with it so far.
So I played through the beach, which is the first area that you go to. You get Professor Oak is telling you all this stuff, and he says, "Hey, I got this car." Yeah, welcome back. You ride in the car, and so the first thing I instantly noticed was just how great this game looked for the 64. Even by today's standards, like, it's a very smooth game as far as, because I mean everything else on the 64 is all jagged and polygonal, and Pokemon Snap actually looks like it's pretty nice. The gameplay is not like my favorite. I am gonna get the new Pokemon Snap to just go through, because when I was a kid I played through, I know at least halfway through this game. I don't know if I ever finished it, but I just remember enjoying the Pokemon part of it, because when we were kids and you played Pokemon on Game Boy, you're like, man, I wonder what these would look like in real life. And then Pokemon Snap comes around in Stadium, and now you're like, oh, right. 3D Pokemon. So it was
and I love the animations. I love the animations in Pokemon Snap. They're so much more vibrant and alive than anything they did in Pokemon Stadium. Yeah,
you get like a Jigglypuff, and it just like rolls across the screen like end over end, and like they're like, oh, what is this? And it's like a piece of a Charmander, and all of a sudden it comes out of the bushes, and you have to time your photos just right. And I can't wait to unlock some of the different items you can get, like the smoke or whatever, that you can like smoke them out, and there's just like some different things you can unlock to help you get the Pokemon into poses and things you want. You can get treats and things. But, definitely enjoying what I'm playing so far, and gonna definitely try to finish it this time around.
Yeah, it's not a hard game to get through. Just to beat it, just to get your ending picture and all that, it's not hard at all.
No, but definitely we'll get there, and
for sure.
It'll make me more pumped for the new one that comes out in a couple months.
Yes, dude, I'm so excited. I can't believe they did it, man. We've been asking for a sequel for so long, and it just seemed like one of those pipe dreams, right? It just seemed like Mother 3. Like, that's never going to happen. They're not going to do that.
I still think they missed the opportunity to put this on the Wii U. Like, this should have been a Wii U game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And just because of the, like, kind of failure that the Wii U was, I'm really glad that they decided to push it to the Switch, or at least wait until, you know what I mean? Like,
but man, it's like, it just seems like it would have been the game to play on that console. There's some things just work really good with the Wii U. and I think this would have been one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. I'm man, I am just such a huge fan of Pokemon Snap. It holds such a special place in my heart. I played it nonstop as a kid. Like I would play through it and always try to get like a better run or like a better score in my run or, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You were playing that, and I was playing Ogre Battle, and not taking pictures of Pokemons.
Yes, indeed.
And Mario Party.
Oh, Mario Party. Hey, speaking of Mario Party, let's jump into this day in gaming history. So 22 years ago today, February 8th, 1999, for the Nintendo 64, a little game launched, and we were all very curious about. A game called Mario Party. Now, why, John, would I play a Mario board game on my Nintendo 64? Why would I do that?
Because it's never been done before.
Yeah.
But it also...
And because it's awesome.
I was going to say, we also had no idea that this single game was going to destroy all of our N64 controllers. Like, oh, it's so fun.
Oh, man.
But now I don't have any more controllers.
Why does my hand hurt so much? Ow, I got blisters in my palms from spinning the thing around. So for those of you who don't know, and if you don't know, I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you. There's a couple of mini games in the original Mario Party that requires you to spin the control stick really, really fast, like you're paddling a boat or whatever. And so we found, as a kid, you find the best method to do that is to place the inside of your palm over the control stick and just kind of spin really, really fast. You know what I mean? Well, so that does a couple things. That wears down the plastic in your controller very, very quickly, as well as leaves a nice little welt in the middle of your hand and bruises it. And it got so bad that Nintendo actually sent out Mario Party gloves.
So you could be like Michael Jackson for a day.
Yep. You could order them for free, and it was a glove, and you looked like Michael Jackson, and just...
Well, it was funny, because if your friend had the glove, like, you knew he was serious. Like, he was going to throw down for Mario Party.
He was a Mario Party pro. And I think even by the second Mario Party, they had done away with those games.
Yes. Yeah, that was the first thing to leave.
If I remember correctly. Yeah.
And that was brutal. Oh my
goodness. Yeah. Mario Party was one of our favorite games to play, me and my friends. And it was the beginning of kind of like the whole like you didn't have to play well really to like win this game. You just had to kind of be really cutthroat, because you could steal stars. You could get up to like 2 to 3 stars at the very end of the game for doing certain things, like getting awards.
Spaces.
Oh, ridiculous.
Or least amount of spaces if you just sucked at rolling your dice. And they're like, we're going to give you a star for sucking.
Yeah, here you go. And wasn't there... Oh, man, I think that there was even a mechanic... This may have been in later games, where everybody's quantity of stars gets swapped around. So, like, I could have 8 and everybody else has 0, and then suddenly all of my stars are gone.
I think that was later games, and I stopped playing when that happened.
Yeah, that's total BS.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Like, I'm winning 3-0. Now I have 0 stars.
Bull crap. Can't believe it. Can't believe that crap.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean,
oh my gosh.
Mario Party really, the first one was pretty fine line between strategy, skill, and luck. Like, it was a pretty good blend. The further they went down the line with Mario Party, it was like the most lucky. Like, you had to be the luckiest person. There were so many bonus stars and different stealing stars and so many different things you could do to sabotage somebody and just, all out grab a win when you were totally losing the whole thing.
Ridiculous. But I will say though, the concept of like a collection of mini games was pretty new at that point. Now we have like tons of them, and especially in like the Wii and DS era, there were innumerable numbers of minigame collections. But at this time, it was fairly novel to be able to play a game where you're just playing minigames and playing a board game, and you know what I mean. They did a great job with you know what I mean. Despite its shortcomings, I'd still play Mario Party today. So, what a novel idea. And that's another game I got to pick up a copy of. I got to make a list. Rocket Robot on Wheels and Mario Party. Don't know why I don't own it. Just not in my collection. That's a problem.
Probably because it's like a $60 game now.
Yeah, what the heck, man? Every Mario Party game like goes crazy high.
Yep. Yeah, to buy all of them, you're looking at like probably like $1,000.
Yeah, I don't want all of them. I just want okay. The original price charting has it at $37, which isn't crazy. Probably because everybody knows it breaks your controllers. The rest of them, though, like 50.
I think the second 60, game is considered like the best, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
On the 64 at least, and then like
the
5 for
the
GameCube.
second one. The second one is the one that made it to Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
I think
all the GameCube.
I was gonna say I think number 5 on GameCube is supposed to be like one of the best ones.
Yeah, it's just so everybody's opinion on that is so different. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the whole microphone thing, so 6 and 7 is not my favorite. But all of the GameCube Mario parties are like $85, $95 on price charting. So if you have any of those, hold on to them because that's crazy.
Oh yeah, they're up there.
Yeah. Yes. So. Next up, we're going to chat a little bit about some news. If you've got a GameCube with the component cable port in the back, Retrobit is coming out with a pretty cool little gadget that will output really clean HDMI signal out of that port. And we're looking at about half the price of the Ultra HDMI from that one company, because those are like $150 and these are down to like $70, $80. It's got a USB-C port on the side for firmware updates, and it's got a whole overlay interface that you can like load Swiss onto, and it is looking to be pretty great. Yeah.
It's got me wanting to get a earlier version of a GameCube so I can use it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. We'll have to work that out for you. So that's just a short little news bite. If you're interested in that, I found all the info at Retrologic.games. It's a news site. And you can just search Prism and it should pop up for you. The last thing in our news segment before we take a break is one of our community members made a cool little spreadsheet, and I will read his comments about it. He says, so, interestingly enough, I started running some numbers. There are actually more retro games available on Switch than on the Wii, Wii U, or 3DS. It's difficult to get the full picture. Several of these collections overlap. But then, sometimes different versions of a game are significant enough that they count separately. I also only pulled Virtual Console numbers for other systems. I know there were at least some compilations and collections on them as well. It might be interesting to give a breakdown by system. How many SNES games are available on Switch versus Wii, etc., etc. Part of the reason the offerings on Switch feel so sparse is I sort of mentally blocked out the arcade stuff and the Atari collection, and those make up a good chunk of the Switch's final number. Yeah, so this is pretty cool.
Also, Sega ages.
Sega ages, all of the Arcade Archives games, he even puts 3D Mario All-Stars on here, the Genesis collection, he's got them listed out here.
I mean...
and I'm sure this isn't even all of them.
There's been like a Genesis collection and a like a Mega Man collection pretty much since like GameCube going forward. They put one out.
So in the PS3, Wii, 360 generation, there was the Sega Genesis collection, or like Sonic's Genesis collection or something like that. But that didn't come to Wii because the Wii had Sega Genesis games on the Virtual Console.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll read out the numbers here. So we have the Wii, and he even admits like these numbers might be off because he's just doing it himself. It's not like he has an algorithm catching anything. The Wii has 483 Virtual Console games. The Wii U had 311. The 3DS had 232. The Switch has 639, which is crazy. So that includes Nintendo Switch Online and Arcade Archives, the Neo Geo stuff, the Sega Genesis collection. Atari Flashback has 150 games on it, so that's pretty cool. That is a cool thing, and I want to thank Third Strongest Mole in our Discord for bumping that out to us, because I think numbers are nifty. So, John, let's take a quick little break, and when we come back, we've got all of our community stuff. We're going to chat about Sonic the Hedgehog. We've got a really neat little question to answer from a couple community members, and we have our Throwback Thursday convo that we're going to read about. So, make sure you stick around, and we will be right back. Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. And we've got some community stuff to go over. First off, we're going to do a quick little convo about how Sonic the Hedgehog is going. I personally love this game. I got a little bit of time into it, and if you are not playing on the Switch Sega Genesis version with Rewind, I am very, very sorry.
Yeah, that's me.
Dude, you might just want to switch over because it's...
Well, I'm already halfway done now.
Yeah, but it's not that hard. It's a quick game. It doesn't take long.
I'm going to try to, tough it out.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. If I get stuck, I know I can pop in the Switch collection and probably burn through it a lot quicker. But basically, on the PSP, the Genesis collection for that doesn't have Rewind, but it has save states. So basically just get through Act and save. And then just reload my, if I die too early in the act, I'll reload. Try to keep my lives at least around 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, you might want to do that at every checkpoint too, because there's checkpoints in the game.
Yeah,
the little spinny ball.
Yeah,
deals,
I'm running 2 save states. The first save state is just for the beginning of the act, and then the second one I run is when I get to a certain point in the level.
Right, gotcha. Good deal. Yeah. I don't have a lot to say yet. I'm gonna wait until we have a bigger discussion. What I plan on doing is getting a bunch of community members together to do a big Sonic the Hedgehog podcast with a bunch of community members. I already said that. And that's going to be later this month, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be fun. Yeah, so we'll leave Sonic the Hedgehog as is for now as far as Retro Rewind is concerned. And feel free to jump in if you haven't started yet. No worries. It is early in the month. It is a short game, and it deserves to be played. And there are plenty of ways to play it. So, how about our community discussions this week, John? A couple of neato questions from some community members. First one comes to us from Chris HL94 in the Discord. He says, with the recent release of the Monster Hunter film, what is the best and worst film based on a video game? What a question.
Yep, that's a conundrum.
It's hard for me to come up with a worse example of a video game movie than Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough one.
It just, you can't take what Mario is and like bring it into the real world. None of it makes any sense. And I think part of why it's so offensive is because everything Mario does is so good. All of his games are great. They're great games. But the movie is just awful. It's a terrible, terrible movie. It's hilarious. Like, it's fun to watch because it's funny.
It's a train wreck.
But it's funny because it's a train wreck. It's horrible.
You have to watch.
Oh man, and it just keeps going on, and none of it makes any sense. And like the Goombas don't make any sense. Like, what are you doing? And like, I guess Yoshi's in it for 5 seconds for some reason.
Yeah, he's like an actual dinosaur.
It's just not good.
And Mario doesn't ride.
That is, in my mind, it's easily the worst. Easily.
Yeah, it's
what about
bad.
You, John? Worst?
Yeah, I have to agree. I can't. I tried to think of something that was better. That was worse than Mario, and I mean, there's a few things that are bad, but they're still not Mario level bad. Like, hey, Mario wins. It's the best bad movie.
There you go. You win, Mario, again.
As far as the good one,
the best, yeah. I'm trying to think of like a good one that I've seen. I didn't see World of Warcraft, but I heard it was okay.
To me, it has to
I don't know. What do you think?
Either Detective Pikachu or man, there was something else that was recent that was not too terrible.
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog was pretty good. I think probably a toss-up between those two.
I haven't seen Sonic, but I agree with you on Detective Pikachu. Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was better than it had any right to be.
Yeah,
especially if you played.
That's true.
Especially if you played the video game. Like I am probably one of the few adults that played through Detective Pikachu, and because man, it's very handholdy and it's totally made for kids. But the movie just. Like, after playing the game, I was like, man, what could this movie possibly have in it? Because there's really not a whole lot going on in the game. And that's funny. Totally surprised. It was a great movie.
Yeah, I'll concede to that. Probably Pikachu or Sonic the Hedgehog. I haven't seen Sonic the Hedgehog again. I really need to. Just my life doesn't... I have very limited time to choose my entertainment, and I'm always going to choose video games, so why would I watch a video game with Sonic when I can just play it? But... I should watch it.
It's not bad.
Yeah. And then we have a question here from Mecha Dragon. He sent it directly to me, but I thought it was a very interesting question about running a game store, which is what I'm also doing. I also have a game store under the Retrologic name, and he asks, where do you cross the line when it comes to selling retro games at a higher price to make a profit versus selling a game to someone and ripping them off with the price? And so pricing is always an interesting science. If you know anything about me, you know that I hate scalpers. I hate it. I think scalping is the worst consumer practice you could do. Like, I know it's perfectly legal and all of that. It's just a huge dick thing to do. Like, let people buy the thing they want to buy at retail price. And don't be the one who's going to like, I'm going to get 12 of them and sell some off. Like, it is immoral, and you're a jerk if you do it, and fight me on that. But that is a product that is supposed to be readily available in stores, that is currently being produced. What I deal with are games that are no longer produced, that are in high demand, and that people are buying and selling all the time. So there's a whole market for it outside of the retail space. I can't walk into Best Buy and buy a copy of Super Mario Brothers 3 for the NES. So I have to go to the community. I have to go to eBay, Mercari. I have to deal with sellers. And there are some sketchy sellers out there. There are people who sell reproduction games as real, There are people who jack up their prices and try to make something seem like it's worth more when it's not. Those people exist. My goal, and what I'm trying to do with Retrologic, is to offer, and I say this every time I talk about Retrologic, they are clean. I clean every single one as best as I can to get it as clean as I can. No stickers, no gunk. They are authentic. I verify the authenticity of everything that I sell. I open up the cartridge and check the board. I test everything out on original hardware if I have it available. And if I haven't tested it, then it's stated as such in the listing. And I price my stuff pretty fairly based on the condition and what price charting and eBay are selling them for. Because something is only going to sell for what people are willing to pay for it. And it seems ridiculous, but people are willing to pay $300+ for a copy of Gotcha Force on the GameCube. So if I ever got one in my store, that's what I would sell it for. That's what people are willing to pay. And the store has to sustain itself financially. So I'm not gonna sell it for cheap just to be nice. Like, I'm gonna sell it for the market value. Also, because I love the community and I want to make sure that people feel like they're getting a lot of value out of the brand, I do giveaways. I'll buy games just to give them away, and that's part of my budget. That's part of what I do. It's fun. It's fun for the community. It's fun for Twitter, and it grows the brand. So it's a win-win-win-win for everyone. That to me is better than like, I'm going to sell this game for cheaper because whatever, like, that's not going to drive the price down. And it's just going to, then kind of like the seller's almost getting ripped off at that point. So I hope that kind of clears up a little bit about what I do and why I do what I do and the market in general. And also like how pricing works, and how I do my pricing. I do a mixture of price charting and eBay listings to see what like a good average is based on the condition of the game. So I hope that wasn't too boring to listen to, but maybe you get a little bit of insight on how and why I do what I do, which is pretty cool, right? So I think that's fun. I worked at a retro game store when I first moved to Austin 15 years ago. And that store is still going, and I have a great relationship with that owner. So I have a good like pulse on the market and what things are worth and how to price them. Which is why I started the store, because I felt like it was a strength that I had. But all that being said, thank you, Mecha Dragon, for the question. I hope that wasn't too boring for everyone. I think it's interesting, and I love it. So I thought that was pretty cool. John, any comments on that? Anything?
I mean,
you don't do a whole lot of selling.
I do a lot of buying though, and I mean, to me, I understand market value very well. It's a very necessary thing, and in fact, the market value is, it does allow games to be more expensive, but it also keeps games at the point where you're going to see, if it wasn't for a market value in like a streamlined process of that, you would see games that were all kinds of different. I mean,
right.
People would be selling it just for whatever. And, to me, I like to look at something that is going to be close to the market value, because that also shows its authenticity. If you see something that's a lot of times it's undervalued by quite a bit, you might watch out, because it's probably a reproduction of some kind, or
that's a red flag. Or if it's labeled as new, like
there's all kinds of.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be able to shop at a store where you know that everything is checked out and cleaned, like you said, and you just don't have to worry about it. You get it home, you fire it up, and you play it.
Yeah, because I'm a collector too. That's the thing, is I'm a collector who runs a game store. So I want to provide services that I would appreciate. And when I shop it's the same thing when I shop at Game Over, which is the local place, or DK Oldies, or any of these other places. Like, I expect the same thing. If I get a game and it's a repro or it doesn't work, I want to be able to be like, hey, what the heck? And they'll take care of me. That's what I want. That's what I expect as somebody who's spending a lot of money to shop at these places. So, and it's difficult nowadays to run a store. So that's why I'm not just a store.
Yeah, gotta have something to differentiate yourself from everyone else.
Definitely. Well, that's such a cool question, Mecha Dragon. Thank you for asking it. I hope that cleared some of that up, and I hope that everybody had a little bit of insight and it wasn't too boring. Now we've got an interesting little throwback Thursday question that I tossed out there to the community. I want to know what everybody's favorite game that uses a peripheral is. And we had all kinds of answers. Game of Scones in our community said Wii Fit and Ring Fit Adventure are his favorites. He's into the fitness games, and that's really cool. I really enjoyed Ring Fit Adventure when I played it for like a good 5 seconds. I just couldn't stick.
5 days in, you're done.
I just had a hard time sticking with it, man. I don't know what it was. Adrock says Adrock says he can't beat the simplicity of Duck Hunt. Eric Plunk says Typing of the Dead on Dreamcast, which I totally forgot about, and now I got to find a copy of. Thanks for the reminder.
It's funny because I just had a copy of an EGM magazine that has Typing of the Dead on. It's one of the feature articles for the magazine. It was hilarious.
Isn't that so funny? Like zombies teach typing. Crazy.
Yes. Who thought?
Brian S. in our Discord says Mario Paint, which is probably one of my favorites. The whole mouse thing on the Super Nintendo is so cool. The games that use it, at least. That and Lemmings. Jay Talica in our Discord says Guitar Hero, which is another one of my favorites. Man, I loved playing Guitar Hero back when that was like the thing, man. So much fun. We got to bring that back. You know what? Don't bring it back. I'll just buy an old copy because I don't want you to bring Guitar Hero back. It's probably not going to do well. Flightsy in our Discord says he really wants to try Pac-Man Versus on the GameCube, which uses the Game Boy Advance link cable that whole thing connection to the GameCube. He has all the hardware. He just needs to pick up the game. So go for it, Flightsy. Third Strongest Mole says Odama for the GameCube.
Good old Odama.
That we can't get away from talking about Odama on the podcast now, you know? Gotta mention it at least once.
So oddball.
And then Jason Lee comes in with the correct answer, which is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. That's the only right answer. And then there was some conversation about whether the Wii Nunchuck counts, and it doesn't. Neither does the NES Advantage. And that was a real fun conversation. We had a great time chatting about that in the Discord. I really appreciate everyone for chiming in on our Throwback Thursdays. We will see you this Thursday for a new question. Whoo-weesh, John. Well, that was an episode. And we are about to wrap this thing up. Do you have anything you want to add before we jump out of here?
If you want to, we can have a little bit more fun with... as an outro here, Chris HL94's question about the movies. He also had a second part to that question where he asks, what is the best and worst video game that was adapted from a film? So the reverse.
Oh, okay.
Because I have two really good or quick, easy answers.
Yeah, go ahead.
The worst game that was adapted from a film has to be E.T.
Yeah, you can't get much worse than that, huh?
And then, of course, the best has to be Scott Pilgrim, the video game, based on the film, based on the book.
Yeah, that's a good one. Immediately in my head, what came to mind was GoldenEye.
Yeah, GoldenEye is good, too.
That game had no right to be as good as it was. Like, why was the multiplayer in a James Bond game like the best? Like, what the hell? What are we doing?
Because
why does Rare have a James Bond license? Like, what?
Nintendo was like, hey, we need you to make this game. You know, you make all these other good games. Just make it happen.
Well, and that team is pretty phenomenal. They went on to do Perfect Dark on the 64, and then not Perfect Dark on the 360, which was not a good game. They actually went on to become Free Radical, who made the Time Splitters games. All 3 of those games are bangers. Those are great, great games. I think I have 2
for the GameCube. I
think I have Time Splitters 2 on the GameCube. Do I?
Where did the first one come out at? I don't remember.
Where did that go? Could have sworn I had it. I don't know. What's your question?
The first Time Splitters, was it a
PS2, GameCube?
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were all on that generation. The first one, the second one, and Future Perfect. And it's actually a pretty high-priced game. Future Perfect is on the GameCube. And then they made Haze, or is that what the game is? I have to look it up.
I can't remember.
They made another shooter of a different brand, and it like bombed, and they went out of business, and that sucks because Free Radical made some great, great games. As far as worst goes, I mean, yeah, how are you going to beat E.T.? Like,
that game had no purpose.
Movie games are notoriously just not good, but that game was just unplayable.
If the goal is to fall into a pit and not be...
No. Bad.
Very bad.
That was funny. Yeah, thanks for reminding me of that, John. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to end the show on.
Yeah, so we have reached the end of the show. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you for being part of the retro community wherever you are, whatever you do. Keep it positive. Keep it non-toxic. Be kind to each other. And thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, you can check me out on Twitter at Retrologic.games, and also Retrologic.games on Twitch, where I stream retro stuff every Monday night. And then sometimes during the week. You got to follow me to really know when I'm going to be on doing weird stuff. Like I'll test games out on stream, show off action figures, do all kinds of fun stuff. Next Monday, I'm going to have my brother over in real life, and we're going to play some 2-player couch co-op stuff. You have to come by for that. That's going to be hilarious. And also feel free to jump into our 100% non-toxic Discord community. Tons of friendly people there to chat with about your retro stuff. We love showing off our collections. We love getting hype about what you're hype about, and learning. We're really just lifelong learners in there, learning more about games we didn't know about and stuff like that. You can find the link to that in my Twitter bio, which is at Retrologic.games on Twitter. And you can find all of the Retrologic things, the game store, Twitch, Twitter, and the podcast at Retrologic.games. So, John, thanks again for being my host, and just thanks for all the fun.
Yeah, man.
And we will see you guys next Tuesday.
Goodbye now.